Hey guys, good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
How you guys doing? Welcome to another day in Montrose. Sister Rita,
I'm ready.
you're ready?
Yes.
You have your key?
Yes, I have the pass.
All right. So guys, today is day 2 in Scotland, still in Montrose, and yeah, we're just making our way out of the hotel room now. You know, hanging with the girls, and yesterday was quite interesting. Yesterday was quite good. We had a really good time yesterday. And yeah, big shout out to Tonya for organizing with Nana and everything. All those food you saw, Nana actually prepared them. We had so much food. We still got some left over today. Yeah, they actually prepared them for us. And it was really nice. Thank you so much, Nana and Tonya, for what you did yesterday. I just wanted to say something about the groups before our topic today, because the ladies and I want to quickly have a chat about something that we already agreed on yesterday. A lot of people are reaching out, oh, add me to the group, add me to the group. Right? I think some people don't understand what the role or the function of these groups are. My people, we are not just in the groups because we want to belong to WhatsApp group. Me personally, I don't like WhatsApp group. I always take myself away from groups that they add me, because there's a lot of things that go on there that I don't really have time to deal with. And I feel like some people that are asking to be added to the groups don't really know what the function of the groups are. They just ask to be added to the group without knowing what we are even doing in the group. And some people, the groups is not for everybody. It's not for everybody, please. Okay? We have a vision that we are working at, and that is providing support, creating support groups. If God has not laid it in your heart, or you know because of your whatever commitment, life, and everything that you are not available, please, there's no need to join the group. There's no need, because there's a purpose for it, like I said. Okay, so we're in Scotland now, and for the whole of Scotland, the only person that turned up was Tonya yesterday. Okay, yes. Tonya turned up yesterday. All the ladies you see here all came from England, right? So yesterday, Tonya was the only one that turned up, apart from Nana, obviously the person who came to see. And today, Lois. And Lois. This is Lois, by the way. Lois came from Edinburgh. Yeah, thank you very much, Lois, for coming. Yeah, she drove for 2 hours to be here. This is the kind of commitment we are looking for.
Hello everyone, nice to meet everyone. It's a lovely affair, lovely atmosphere, and it's good to know that we are loved and we care about each other.
Yeah.
Hi.
We're Africans in the diaspora. We have to look out for one another.
Yes.
And we're having a conversation about how people just like to keep to themselves in this part of the world, and don't want to engage, especially when someone has issues. Yeah. Nobody wants to deal with you. Nobody wants to. They just leave you.
Yeah, because they can't relate.
No, but you don't need to be able to relate to be able to help. It's just about kindness and being there for one another, because it's so isolating, this part of the world. Like you guys are in Scotland now, you're all scattered, different cities. Mm-hmm. You drove 2 hours to be here. Okay? Unlike people that live in the major cities, it's different, okay? So, my people, the purpose is to help, to support. So, if you are not that kind of a person that's interested in supporting other people or helping, contributing, your time, your energy, your finance or whatever, then there's no point being in the group, please. Okay? That's all I want to say.
For mothers as well. Fathers.
Hi, hello guys, ObodoFam television. Yeah, I want to pass you now to the CEO, Sister Bridget.
She keeps saying CEO.
CEO
The CEO of Coca-Cola.
Television. Sis, you don't spoil my introduction now.
Oh, please don't kill me. Oh, CEO. If you don't want me to laugh, don't say CEO. If you say CEO, I will laugh.
Okay, sis.
Funny.
Okay, we'll cut all this I come out, so you just start. Okay, out now.
Oh, CEO. Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. This is day 2 in Scotland, and you are welcome. Thank you very much for joining us. My name is Bridget, and I've got my sisters and friends here. My travel partner, but Louis, is a Scottish woman. She lives here in Scotland, and she's been gracious enough to come and be with us today, and we are very grateful to have her. And of course, our darling protocol officer, chief protocol officer. My husband calls her CEO, chief executive. You are the chief executive of ObodoFam. And of course, you got Juliet and sis Rita.
How are you?
So we're here to talk about another issue today, and this is about relationship as well. You know, this is the theme. This is the main thing that we do. And we are talking about when relationship ends, the children. Most times when relationship ends, marriages or whatever ends, the children end up being with the mother, who is the primary caregiver. And she's the one that will, you know, they will live with, that should provide care for them. And some brothers have complained that some women, because of, you know, how their breakup ended or how the relationship ended, they use the children as a tool, you know, to punish them. They don't give the children access to them, not because they are bad fathers, but because the woman now feels that the power she has is using the children against him, right? And I've often said that the relationship that a man or a woman have with one another is different from the relationship you have with your child, right? A man can be a bad husband but a good father. It's possible. So relationship that you have with, you know, your children is different from what you have with your partner. So we are talking about this particular one. So I met this lady recently and she's got 5 kids, right? And when I had interaction with her, I realized that 2 of those kids, they are twins. And from the brief time that I spent with them, I could tell that they've got some special needs that needs to be diagnosed. I could tell that 2 of those kids, twins, have special needs. And she was struggling, like properly struggling with caring for the children. They are all below 10. And, you know, we had a conversation with another lady and we spoke to her about, why don't you allow the dad to be involved? And she gave a lot of reasons. She said, no, it's going to unsettle the children. You know, she doesn't want him in their lives. And I said, is he abusive towards the children? She said, no, it's not like that, oh. But I said, so you are struggling. It's obviously you are drowning with caring for these children. You can't do it physically. This thing is breaking you. Allow this man to be involved. He wants to. She said she'll think about it. The next day she came back to us and said no. She made up her mind she doesn't want to. In fact, she's going to go to the authorities to go and get a restraining order so that he will never have contact with the children. And I said, really? Do you think this is the best course of action for you right now? And okay, I'm going to allow other ladies to talk because I was basically saying to her that, do you know the impact that this is going to have on these children? Because what parents don't understand is that children grow up and whatever one parent tells them, they will verify whether it's true or not. Okay? And if they find out that you've been lying to them, deliberately keeping them away from the other parent, you become the bad person. So we are talking about people who deliberately keep children away from, you know, their exes because as a weapon or a tool to punish them, the impact it has on the children. So you have the floor, my sisters.
Yeah. One thing that such persons should realize is that, like you said, the impact on the children. And one thing is, when we are in relationships and it's broken down, we are prone to judge and act on situations based on how we feel. One thing that the woman, in this context, we're talking about the woman now being the person depriving access. One thing that the woman should be thinking of is that child. How is that going to impact on the child, depriving the child from having access or the relationship with the father? A quick Google search came up with about 12, 14 pointers on the impact that not having a father figure in the child's life would cause. And that's one of which says children's diminished self-concept, behavioral problems, truancy and poor academic performance, delinquency and youth crime, promiscuity and teenage pregnancy, drug and alcohol abuse, homelessness, exploitation and abuse and emotional maltreatment, physical health problems, mental health disorders, life chances, future relationships. Definitely is going to affect future relationships, and these are the impact that the child is left with as a result of not having a father figure in their lives. So this is just to say, once a woman is having a lot of discontent, bitterness, anger issues towards the way the relationship went, or the way the partner is, or what he is, as long as he's not a risk factor to the children, she should be thinking, does she want her children to be delinquent? Should she want them to be exploited? Think of
just go and do a quick Google search of the impact of not having a father figure in your child's life, and just see. Maybe that would be a wake-up call for you to start thinking and changing your mentality.
Okay, Auntie Rita.
Yes, I would like to pick up on the teenage pregnancy and abusive relationship, because the children, especially the ladies, they don't have the girls, especially since they don't have a father figure in their life. Then they start looking for a relationship with unsuitable men that will prey on them on that weakness, that they're looking for a father figure. Some girls in this type of relationship have even been made to prostitute because they're looking for a father figure. Their father figure is their pimp. And also some girls, because they don't have no self-esteem and they don't value themselves, they're into they see every time they're getting pregnant, getting rid of the baby, and they find they don't value themselves, so they see themselves as a vessel that to be used by other men. So it doesn't help for their self-esteem. And maybe at the time that they realize their lives, they get back into gear, they're in their 30s or even 40s, and they've wasted all that time. And then they turn to hate their mothers, because they find out their father was bad towards their mother, but towards them, he was a loving figure.
Right. Dosh.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
From the point of view of if a mother is actually trying to have build a relationship between the father and the child, but the father is not interested or the child is not interested, what should happen in such?
I think in that case, then the mother needs to communicate with the child. Okay? You need to be very open, because children are very intelligent. We don't give them enough credit, especially African parents. We don't give children enough credit. Children are very intelligent. They have understanding, they observe, they know things. When you're hiding things, they know. Okay? So in a situation like that, where the relationship is broken down, the mom is trying to foster a relationship between the daughter or the child with the ex, and the man is not interested. You have to let the child know that, okay, unfortunately, I want your dad to see you. Please know that I'm not trying to stop you from having a relationship with your dad, but at the moment it seems like he's going through something, or he hasn't got the time, and he's not available at the moment. And I would strongly advise that you look for another man, another male figure. It can be a brother, it can be an uncle, it can be a colleague, somebody that is responsible, especially if they have a child of the same gender. If it's a girl, for instance, and you see a man who you think is a family man, well respected, that their character, and they have a daughter, then you can befriend them. So that man now, with his own daughter, will now, start interacting with both his daughter and this child. And somebody needs to stand in the gap. Yeah, very, very important. Yeah.
Well, as for me, I don't know if I've ever had this discussion with you and to be, but I've always been against, restricting access of children. How do you put it? How do you say it?
Yeah.
Putting that gap between the father and his kids. The simple reason is that I believe from the word go, there was a reason why God put a father and a mother together to raise a child. And then, Juliet said something, say, unless that man or that woman is a risk factor to that child, you have no right, I don't think you have any right to restrict a child from seeing her father or her mother simply because you want to spite them. And in most cases, that's what happens. Like Sabi said now, you're struggling. You could get help from the father of those kids. We are refusing it because you think you're punishing that man.
You're punishing yourself.
Yeah, in most cases, this man will move on. And once he starts having other children, his attention will shift because after all, I don't have access to them. I have these ones now. That's where the attention would be. I would strongly advise, if there's any issue between a man and a woman, please don't let the children be the tool with which you will, have your fight. Using them as a weapon, of mass destruction within the two of you. So unless there is complete danger to the children from the partner, I think you should let the children enjoy their dad and let their dad enjoy the children. Come to some sort of arrangement.
And for your own mental health
as well.
I mean, it's not easy to be a parent in this situation. 5 children, how do you even cope with just 1 or 2? You need that time away from your caring responsibilities to recharge. And we know childcare is not cheap. Who would be able to take care of your children for a day or 2 to give you that time to recoup and regain your strength, recharge and come back where you will be able to give the best of you to the child. So if you are constantly within their premises, constantly having that responsibility to care for them, you would be exhausted and they're not getting the best of you. You need a little bit of time away from your caring responsibilities. And if he's not a risk factor, let him deal with the children. He's their father. Remember, he's giving them something that you can't, something that inherently is his to give. Be it good, I mean, it can't be bad. There's something that presence alone can only give, because by virtue of him being a man and the father, that you can't give. You can only give what you can give as a mother. So it is not your right to take it away from the child. It's the child's right to have a relationship with his father. Like, except in circumstances where it's been deemed that he is not a fit person.
And another thing I want to say is that mothers, please, we tend to do this, but I've seen a man that did it. One of the ladies that came on the show, Comfort, her own case is sad. I'm still thinking that we'll probably need to go and see her. She's in London. Maybe we can go and see her. She really needs us. We'll talk about that later. So the husband contacted me after the show, and I'm telling you, this man has mental health illness. I'm not joking, and I'm not just saying it to put him down. He is one of those people that have undiagnosed illness, mental illness that are walking about. You just need to communicate with him for 5 minutes.
That are walking about.
Yeah, you just need to communicate with him for 5 minutes. Wow. Oh, I see that my wife, she came to your show. She's talking. Don't listen to her. Don't listen to her. All this she's saying is all lie. It's all lie. I'm a good man. I'm a very good man. I said, oh, you're a good man. I said, okay. Do you want to come to the show or to tell your own side of the story? I'm open. You know, if you say she's lying, please come and tell us what she lied about, your own side. Oh, no. No. I just heard that you said that you are going to follow her to school to go and take the children. Don't try it, oh. The police already knows. The police, I'm even, the way I'm talking now, I'm trying to tone it down. The way this man,
I can imagine.
his mannerism, his voice, the way he was talking, the speed at which he was talking, everything was like somebody that is manic. And it was like, oh, she cannot touch the children. She must not pick my children, no. She must not pick my children, no. There is nothing I have not done. I've been begging her. She started speaking Yoruba. Chineke, I said, calm down, Oga. Please, we are not fighting. I'm listening to you, but I am struggling because the way you are coming across, you are very, you know, you are very antagonizing. You are very confrontational. You are shouting. You are aggressive. Like, you know. Generally, people say that we Africans are aggressive, but this one was raised to power. I say, okay, when a marriage ends or a relationship crumbles, two people have played a role in it. So she acknowledged that, okay, she did something wrong. Are you saying that you never did anything wrong? I have never done anything wrong to her. I have never done anything wrong. She's the bad person, no? She does not listen to me. She's the one that is wrong. My people, the story is long. I'm not going to bore you by telling you, distracting from the story. But where I'm going in this is that what this man did was that he decided to play that video for the children. He said, come and listen. And as he was talking to me, he was saying, he was calling the children, Mba, is this not your mother did? Is this not what your mother did? He was calling the children to come and... Yes. I said, don't do that. Please don't do that. You cannot call children to come and be your witness against their own mother. It is wrong. I know. Shamadima. I said, how old are they? This one is 10. 10. He said they are no longer babies, so they are no longer children, they are grown. How old are they? 10. You're calling a 10-year-old to come and defend you against their own mother. I say, do you see what is fundamentally wrong in this? I said, you don't see it. You are making them choose. This is a mother that carried them in her womb for 9 months. She nursed them, she fed them. They sucked her breast. And you are making them choose. So he went ahead and played the video and said, look at your mother. Oh. She's calling herself Comfort. Oh. So when because her name is not Comfort, like, you know, a lot of the ladies used to the name. Sorry, my eyes are just weeping.
Use your tissue and just go under your eyes. Yeah, just dab it. No, the glasses
it won't stop. The air just keep blowing and the thing just keep weeping. Let me put this on.
Don't mind that she's crying.
So He said, hey, see, oh, is one of his friends who lives in Australia, Austria, that told him that I think this is your wife on the show. And this is what a lot of people have started doing now. They are monitoring ObodoOyinbo TV to see whether their wife have come to share. You understand?
Something to hide and
Do you see what I'm saying? This is what they're trying to do now, and I'm going to do something about that. But let me keep it under wraps for now.
Of course.
So, and then he played the video. The lady said she called the house to speak to the children because she's in refuge. And then they started saying, comfort, comfort, comfort. The children were teasing her.
Calling her by
Yes. Teasing her.
her.
So you see, it's not only women alone that do it. Some men do it. But like I tell you, this man is not well. And then I called her and said, how did you manage to live with this man? This man is not well. He said, this is what I'm going through. He said, I have recording. I will send you recording. Apparently, he's been recording her. Whenever they are having any discussion, any arguments, when he's talking, he will not record himself. But when she starts to respond, he will press the record on WhatsApp and start to record. He sent me this about 10 or 15 recording and said, so you think I'm jobless? I will just sit down and be listening to your recording. I'm sorry, sir, I don't have that time. I'm a very busy woman. I don't have time. This is not, I'm not here to fix your marriage, okay? She's already left because she got tired of the abuse. And she's left you. I'm talking to you about the children. And then she was saying, oh, he was saying, don't go to the school, don't go to school. To cut a long story short, my people, you know that this lady went to the school to go and take the children, and then you said it's against the law for her to go to the school. I said, you don't know the law.
You don't.
I said, Oga, you don't know the law, okay? If you knew the law, you will know that a mother has the legal right to take her children anytime she wants, okay? So you don't know the law. So of course she went to the school to go and take the children. She said, there's nothing this man has not told his children. Two of them, the older ones, refused to follow her. They were going to embarrass her in the school. They were cursing her.
That's her. They've been brainwashed.
They've been brainwashed completely. The other one that she managed to take, that one was a struggle before you could follow her. She started crying. She broke down. She was crying. This is what happened. I said, don't worry. Just leave it. See, if you are drowning, you cannot save somebody else except you save yourself. You have to save yourself first. I told her, I said, don't worry. Leave them. They will grow. And when they grow old, they will know the truth. Just leave them. Don't drag it.
So it's vice versa. The
Yeah.
men too, when given the opportunity, they would do the same.
Yeah,
And
not a lot of men would do that, I must say.
Yeah. So
Because men are not, most men are not as talkative as women. But when you find a man that is so loose, his mouth is so loose, and he behaves worse than a woman, this man, he will say 100 things under 1 second. Under 1 second. And you know what I found out? You know what I found out? It's a circle. The mother is an abusive relationship. The father was abusive towards the mother. And it's the sister that told me this. And she stayed in it and said, I'm staying because of the children. She told me that her sister married exactly a man like her father. She said, my father is exactly like that. Is why the man, this ex-husband, the only person he gets along with in their family is the father.
Because they share the same views. They are from the same school of thought.
So, I mean, trying to brainwash children, please don't drag children into your mess. Don't call your children down. And some women do this and they'll call the children down and start to say, see what your father did. This is what your father did to me. Your father is an evil man. Your father is this. Don't do that, women. Please. Because children are like, and they are blank, they are plain like this. What you fill them with is what they are going to grow with. Don't fill them with hate. Don't teach them how to hate. It is a struggle for a child to be choosing between one parent or the other. Do not put them in that position. It is not right. It is abuse.
let's going back to the premise. What is fair? Being in the other person's shoes, you want the child for your image to be tarnished before the child. It's vice versa, where the woman or the man is concerned. If you do not want your child to be tarnished, your image should be tarnished to your child, then don't do it to the other partner. You know, we've already agreed that it goes across board, where the man denies the woman access or the woman denies the man access, and then putting the children involved. It is messy. They say when two elephants are fighting, it's the grass that suffers. And in this situation, they are the ones that would suffer. We might not see, some children are resilient, very resilient. They might be able to cope with it, but it might be somebody's burden to carry.
Yes, they will internalize it.
And then
we show later. And those, I remember you were telling me about this situation where this young this child was threatening the father, that he was going to call the police on the father,
Yeah.
based on what he's observed
Yes.
about the relationship between
Yeah.
him
And the mom.
and the mom.
This boy, you know, they've seen things they've heard right from when they were young. Now, this boy is as tall as the dad. He's almost as huge as the dad. So the moment he started hearing that, he came out and said, if you touch my mom, I will call the police for you. And before the police will get here, I will fight you. If you touch my mom again. So that means this is being there. This is being there. And you hear these stories, you think people are exaggerating. No. One thing I notice is that children are very fair. But when you start to blackmail one child against the other parent, it damages being a child. Because that sticks. When I was growing up, I used to hear, I think it's my big sister say, the brain of a child is like a magnet. Anything you put there sticks.
A sponge.
Anything you
Soaks
put
up
there,
everything.
Yeah. And you don't realize what damage, internal damage. And sometimes this damage will not come out until they are adults and they begin to make decisions. They'll not begin to, think backward. This is how my mother used to tell me.
Yeah.
This is what my father used to tell me. Be it good or bad, these children are
You'll remember.
products of how they grow up. I agree with that a lot because we, as much as we're the parent of these children, we have no right to damage them.
No.
We have no right to damage them. And another thing, our children sometimes try, I can see Nana, our children sometimes try to speak to us. We don't listen. And to be said something, say children are very intelligent and we do not give them enough credit. And that's true. I completely agree. Because at the end of the day, they are going to take away what they've learned inside that house. I tell my kids, listen to me and your dad as much as you listen to your teacher in school. Because these two go hand in hand when you're 21 and you start growing. Take everything you learn, take advantage of anything that somebody is trying to teach you, especially if it's positive.
Yeah.
I always make this example. If I didn't learn from my parents, how do you think I'm able to parent you? You need to learn. Let's not, I don't particularly like it when children are disadvantaged, where we don't have access to either dad or mom.
Not because of anything, but because one is being vindictive.
Yeah, like you said last night, just because someone is not a good husband does not mean they are not good fathers or good parents.
A good mother.
That's my 100% no.
Some parents, when you damage your child like this, what happens later is that the child finds it hard to build up a relationship with the opposite sex.
Yeah.
So if it's a boy, he finds it hard to build up relationship with a woman, and if it's a woman, she finds it hard to build up relationship with a man. So that they become very cynical and they be thinking, oh, this is what relationship is. Like I know a young man. He's not a young man. He's in his 50s now. He finds it very hard to have a relationship with a woman because his mother denied him the relationship with his father. So he finds it, he's now in his 50s. And I don't see him ever settling down, because when he settles down, anytime he has a girlfriend, doesn't stay more than 6 months a year, he breaks up. So, mothers, be careful how you're damaging your children. You may not think you're damaging them, but when in adulthood, you see that they can't settle down in a proper relationship with the opposite sex.
Yeah, and I find that it's the most aggrieved ones that always do a lot of this. Because the one that feels aggrieved, that I'm the one that did this, I did this for you, you used me, you dumped me or whatever. Because one party always feels more aggrieved. They're always the one that turn on the children. And maybe they are coping with the children, which is all right, but don't fill them up with the negativity of your relationship. It's not necessary. Leave the children out of it, please. Don't make children choose. Don't make them be the one that
Go to
will
a counselor. Don't use children for counseling.
for counseling. Yeah.
Let them be the one to find out who my mom really is. This is how my dad. Let them find out. And they need to grow into that sense of when they say this about that child will say yes, I know. Don't pre-fill their minds into things that you believe. Because those children they're going to have a different perspective. They need to grow into an understanding of who other parents are.
Yeah, what you said now, about children, some parents using children as to counsel. They don't know it, but they offload on the children. And children are not built in a way to receive all that kind of negative information, negative energy. Instead of you offloading on your children, please go and offload on a friend. Go to a pastor, whoever, imam, whoever is around. So don't offload on your children, please. Don't tell them. And some women, when they get angry, or maybe the child does something, genetics now. Some children will pick up the traits of that other person, whether you like it or not. Or say, hey, this is how your father is. Exactly as your father is, that's how they will now use negative words to curse them and said, yes, this is how your useless father did. Now you are starting again to follow like him. You understand? That's not good. That's not. It's not his fault or her fault.
Parents, let me just, sorry to cut you short again. We need to understand that children don't have enough brain power to process the kind of information that is being offloaded to them, especially from parents. It's bad enough they have internet to give them everything that they don't need, you know. And then as a parent, adding that, it's just not. It doesn't work.
It's too
There's
much.
a reason why they are kids. Like I said to my 16-year-old, there are things you do and I will not look away. The 10-year-old will do it and I'll brush it aside. Because I know that you have enough brain capacity to understand that you shouldn't do that. You know, let's just understand the brain power of kids is a child's brain power.
So, yeah, I think, I mean, except you have more things to add.
Oh, you mean me?
Yeah,
I would just like to say that mothers, do not do that to your child, because one day your child will be an adult and you want your child to have a successful marriage life. So if you're offloading all onto this, it's either going to be distant with, whether it's a guy with the women, and if it's a female with the men. She'll have broken relationships all her life, or the guy will have broken relationships in his life. Yes, and you would like your grandchildren to be brought up in a loving environment. This will not be possible if you're downloading on the child.
Really, that's the word, downloading. Downloading negativity non-stop. Anyway, I mean, I don't have anything much to say again. I'm just saying that if you are that parent that you think that the way to solve your issues or whatever the other person did to you is to drag the children into it and now use them as a tool to fight your battles, is wrong. Please don't do it. It's not going to help you, because they will grow up, they will find out the truth, they will hate you. Then they will be resentful towards you, and all that labor. I suffered for you. I did this for you. They will say, did I send you to bring me to this world? You know, so don't do it. Leave your children out of your mess, please. That's my final say on the topic.
Good one. And I think that maybe there's scope for part 2 to look at the other side as well. I think we touched a little bit on
the men's side.
On the men's side.
Yeah.
So there's that as well, and a lot more. I think that this topic cannot be overflowed.
No. Well, anyway, guys, we're just going to leave it here today. What do you think about this subject, about parents, you know, using children in their battles? And, you know, it is completely wrong. There's no debate about it. So I hope somebody will learn 1 or 2 things from this discussion tonight. And yeah, give this video a thumbs up. If you've not subscribed, please subscribe. And I'll speak to you in my next video. Thanks a lot for watching. I love you. Say bye-bye, ladies. Bye. This is a goosey soup. Some serious, oh my God, see the men inside. Chineke. Nana, you want to keep us in Scotland, Abby? Chineke. Samo Vita. All these women that we are heavy already. We even become heavier.